I'm going to show you why being involved in politics is important. Now, you don't have to follow it like I do, or people who are obsessed with everything that's going on in this country politically. That's what I do. I find it very important, but you have to somewhat be engaged. You can't just go out and vote. Oh, I have to vote Democrat because the Democrats have said this for years. The Democrat Party of today is not the Democrat Party of yesteryear, and I'm going to show you why. So if you don't get involved, what happens is they lie to you, and then you go out and vote for something that really isn't real, and then you end up with something like this. And I know for a fact that most Americans don't want this, but here we have it. Breaking. Ohio votes to enshrine abortion until birth in its constitution. In other words, you can have unfettered abortions now up until month number 9. How is that even possible? Especially because I know for a fact, and I'm going to show you a poll and what most people think about that. But yet here we have it. People went out and voted for abortions up to 9 months. The reason that happens is because it goes back to what I was saying. People are not engaged in the politics going on. That's why this country is being destroyed, because people are too busy to even get involved in the smallest thing in politics. So what they do is they go out and they lie about abortions and say Republicans want to stop abortions. Now, that might be true with some cases, but I don't think that's true any longer. In fact, if you looked, the Roe versus Wade left it up to the states. And what did they say? Oh, Republicans are going to stop abortions. That isn't at all what happened. Okay, so again, they went and lied, and now we have people who can have abortions up to 9 months. So I had this argument with a friend of mine, and it just goes to show people who vote Democrat have no idea, and they refuse to think for themselves and think outside the box. They just basically follow what the Democrats say, and then that's it. They follow what the mainstream media says, and then that's it. So I started to talk about this, and he's like, well, a woman should be able to do what she wants with her body. I said, well, that isn't her body anymore when that baby can live outside the womb. So I said, so let me ask you a question. Do you think it's okay if someone who kills a woman is then charged with 2 murders because that baby is now inside of her 8 months, 9 months, and they get charged with a second murder? And he's like, of course. So I asked him, I said, so how could you charge someone with a second murder and then the woman can kill that baby? He's like, that's different. I'm like, how is it different? He didn't have an answer. And that's because he just follows what the mainstream media tells him. He follows what Democrats tell him. He doesn't think for himself. I said, there's no way. Okay, I said, so what if? I said, so what if? I said, what if someone assaults a pregnant woman that's 8 months, 9 months, and the baby dies? Should they then be charged with murder? He said, of course. Think of the logic. That's my point. These people are zombies. They don't think for themselves. They just do what they're told. And it's funny because they always want to call Trump supporters a cult. Yet Trump supporters disagree often. They disagree with Trump. We just like him because he's a fighter. We like him because he puts great policies in place. And that's why we believe him. We don't agree with him on everything, and that's a fact. But let me just show you this real quick. Voters in Ohio approved the constitutional amendment to enshrine abortion rights into the state's constitution. The Associated Press reported Tuesday night. State Republicans argued the measure went too far and even further than Roe v. Wade. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine told Fox News in October, it's pretty clear that this constitutional amendment just goes farther, much further than what the average Ohioan approves. DeWine added, if a voter is comfortable with abortion up until the time of birth, they're probably going to be okay with this amendment. If they're comfortable with parents not being involved in the most important decision in their daughters will ever make, or certainly has made up until that point in her life, if they're okay with that, then they should vote for this. He also told Fox News Sunday, if you look at issue 1, it's a radical proposal, and whether you're pro-choice or pro-life, it just goes much, much too far. It would enshrine in our Constitution the right to have an abortion up until the birth, anytime during the pregnancy. Just think about how sick that is. Even if you're pro-life, they don't stand for this. And I'm going to show you, and I'm going to show you why. And I'm going to show you why being dumb and not paying attention to politics causes this to happen. See, these politicians and these radicals who are running the Democrat Party don't care about what the majority of people think. They want their way. And watch this. Most say restrict abortion after first trimester. A solid majority of Americans believe most abortions should be legal in the first 3 months of a woman's pregnancy, but most say the procedure should usually be illegal in the second and third trimesters, according to a new poll. The poll comes weeks after the U.S. Supreme Court agreed to hear a case involving a currently blocked Mississippi law that would ban abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy, 2 weeks into the second trimester. If the High Court upholds the law, it will be the first time since 73 of Roe v. Wade decision confirming a woman's right to abortion that a state would be allowed to ban abortions before a fetus can survive outside the womb. The new poll from the Associated Press finds that 61% of Americans say abortion should be legal in most or all circumstances in the first trimester of pregnancy. However, 65% said abortion should usually be illegal in the second trimester. And look at this, 80% said that about the third trimester. So people in Ohio went out and voted because they were told that Republicans want to get rid of abortion. Instead, they voted for murder. The people in Ohio voted for murder. That's exactly what it is if you're voting to allow babies to have to be aborted at 9 months. This is why I tell you, getting involved, having your friends and family involved, sending them articles on facts is important, because people are not paying attention. Because I showed you right here, 80% of America is strictly against 9-month abortions. Yet in Ohio, they voted for that. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.